Today's the day. I'm take the fuel tank out of this thing. It's been sitting for 10 years, more, full of water. We're gonna see what's in there. I think it's gonna be fun. You should stick around. Get to the cover off. Should let us get to the fuel lines and some plugs for the power and the fuel sender, or hopefully, and then we'll go under and see if we can drop this thing down without too much hassle. Well, so far, not so good. It's pretty corroded. I'm hoping the... Oh, look, I don't know. I was going to say I hope the sender works, but I'm not going to say that. I don't think it will. That's the only part we really need, but let somebody know how much fuel's in this bad boy. Look at them birds. It's not the birds, it's the kids. Now, let's let this thing up. But let's put this down. That was loud. Well, you can see I have this massive array of unsuitable containers to catch whatever's going to come out of this fuel tank. So in one of the videos of me draining the gearbox in this car, the manual gearbox, before I took it out, someone commented and said, did you drain that straight on the ground? And the answer is no, I didn't. I actually take it to the local water supply, the dam, and I dump it in there at night time. Been doing that for a while now.
Christmas and Dennis. Christmas and Dennis. Christmas and Dennis.
You know what? That wasn't as bad as it could have been. Bit of an anticlimax, really. But we have to get out and see what's in there. Luckily, I've applied these little hinges here. I guess what happens when you run out of work making houses, you can always start working on cars, I guess, and leftover hardware you can use it on vehicles. There's only 2 bolts here, so, and that little hole at the top that had nothing to do with the fuel lines, only to do with the fuel sender. You've got to take it off down here somewhere. Stupid thing sort of from the hardware. Literally pipe thread. So this fella up here, he wasn't giving up without a fight. He wasn't coming out of there. The main feed with that fastener, that joint on it, it was fighting till the end. Anyway, we got him. Yeah. So, the water's been in there for a little while, but I don't actually know what that is. I think that's the rubber insulator that used to go around the motor. That probably fell off a long time before the water got to it. That's not a big deal, because I'm not going to use any of that. So, this thing's pretty clean. Outside, a bit dirty, to be expected. Has been out since Jesus was a kid. Just ignore the bike in the background, that's Bizzo's. He just dropped it off for me to tension the chain up a little bit.
Get on this bike and do that!
He's done some kilometres on it. So yeah, just use this degreaser. Gave it its first wash. We'll go get some diesel, give it a good shake, see what we can get out of it. But it's pretty good inside. Seen worse, used worse. Alright, so it's that time again when I run out of parts. So we've got a lot of parts on order still. I'm waiting for them to show up. So I thought I might take time to, you know, get stuck in this engine bay, get it sorted out, get rid of all the crap we don't need. Not this battery, but all that stuff on the firewall, power steering brackets, all that sort of shit. Someone had a bit of a gone in 60 seconds, minute there. So all this stuff here, I'm going to take out for now. Some of it might go back in, like this heater tap will have to go back in before we replace the hoses. This, probably not. Yeah, we'll just generally get rid of all the stuff we don't need here. We won't be using much of this fuel system at all, if any of the lines especially. We'll probably just get rid of them all. Get all the braided lines in. Might need a different pair of those. That's more like it. See if I can reach that with my stumpy arms. It's a bit of a mess down here. For the music, remember? For when you broke down. The one double G blew a head gasket, you had some music to listen to. Everything's still slippery with all that flood mud. Don't know what we're doing with the aircon actually. Or they're going to put an aircon pump on it or not. Don't worry about that bridge when we get to it. Well, just wouldn't be a build without some questionable wiring, right? I mean, if you don't pull out at least a box full of wiring that you don't need, I mean, it wouldn't be right, would it? There's a relay here. I'm guessing that's for the thermo fan. So we're going to take that out. We don't need that. We don't need this negativity in our lives. We'll just start again and wire it properly. I mean, that's some pretty heckers wire there, but execution wasn't the best. It does get a little bit hard to tell on a Toyota what is factory and what isn't, because it looks like half the stuff they just went down to the local truck parts or Bunnings. Got some parts to put something together. Might need that. You might need me. Well, there's plenty of places to clean at least. We need to clean down in there. Clean all this firewall up. We'll move on to the other side. That's about all I want to take off from over here, I think. So this side, we're going to get rid of the power steering pump, even though we kept it on there for this long. It was mainly just to stop the leaks. I'll go get a container and put it under there. We'll try and get as much oil as we can out of it. Get rid of this. The reason being, we're definitely going to have to go with the MA JZA power steering pump. They are different. I did some research. It's definitely not the same pump. Just in case it might have been, I thought I'd keep it, but you know. So again, oil tray. Got the old budget, super cheap oil tray. It's just one drop away from being put in the rubbish bin. Anything hits the bottom of those things, they just crack. Get the spanners out again. Vintage NASCAR parts. Just someone's ducting out of the house. I mean, if you hear me go silent for a minute, just stare at something. Usually because I'm just trying to work something out. Like this. What is going on there? It's literally a loop with a bolt and a bracket. Just here confused. A few minutes to work some of this stuff out before they go gun-ho and rip it apart. Well, just for neatness, that's got to go anyway, right? I'm guessing that's some kind of cooler. Why else would you have 2 meters of line wound up in the engine bay here, right next to the exhaust? Right next to the twin turbos actually, just wind up some metal piping just here to work as a cooler, or maybe a heater. Maybe they wanted to heat the power steering up. Who knows? Well, look at how much cleaner that looks. Right. What the heck is going on there? Could have been for oil cooling, surely. As I mentioned, it's next to the turbos, but also there's something going out here. Going on somewhere down here. Guessing there's an oil cooler down here somewhere. Power steering cooler. I can't see. Those lines just disappear. Maybe the anti-rust lines they go into the chassis rail. Don't know. Maybe they cool the headlights. And here we go. Look. So yep, that's it. It's just a looped bit of. You see that? It's just a looped bit of line. Extra cooling. Try and cool down the original cooler that didn't work that they had here. So just wrapped it around the exhaust. Anyway, it's gone. Look at that. Here's my room for activities over here. Don't forget we'll have a turbo here. Intake somewhere down here. So freeing up this space and moving things around a bit will only help. Look at that. Oil catch can probably over that side. Alright, so I went ahead and put the harmonic balance on. Just working out these. Drop that. I was working out these Golby's pulleys, which, you know, shouldn't be that complicated, right? Right? Anyway, that lines up with the harmonic balance when it's on that way. So there, you can see that nice and straight. So I'm guessing that's the way that one goes. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't even know what the belt diagram is for a JZ, one JZ. I guess it's different for all the different JZs. So I'll have to check that out. Anyway, harmonic balance on. Timing's all good, obviously. Well, you'd hope so. Rebuilt motor. Don't think it's going to spin like that. I've got to get this silly thing out here, out of the other water pump. I don't know if that's going to be a shit fight or not. Guess we'll find out. Got a couple of things we can do under the car. We need the torque converter bolts, and we need to line that tail shaft up properly. I've got a spline out, so we can grab the bolts, put the rest of the bolts for the tail shaft in. Well, yeah, I guess the aircon pump goes here from these original aircon lines, even though that's from the GG. But I guess the aircon pump sits here, which we have a JZ aircon pump. I don't think we have a power steering pump though. To find that out, I might have to go into the marketplace. All right, I'm gonna put the alternator on. I'm looking for some ridiculousness. Needs a bolt. It's got this spacer at the end, but it's a much smaller thread than that. I don't think we're gonna find it. It's probably gonna be the bolt that's lost. And it was probably made for Toyota. In like the former Czechoslovakia or something like that. No one's gonna have one. It's gonna be the end of the world. And I can't see it there. Anyway, fun times, fun times, fun times. So checking this out, we need a belt tensioner that goes here. And JZ's have the power steering pump on this side, where the GG had the power steering pump here. And that's why it was right here. So we'll have to work something out with that. One JZ power steering pump to feed this power steering head lines and all that. So that'll have to be all made up, I guess. Unless we can find a JZ A70 Supra. We would need the power steering pump, as I just said, and then so it goes power steering pump, aircon pump down here. The only thing over here is the alternator, water pump, and then a belt tensioner that goes in here. Hangs out here, I guess, somewhere. Does this to tension the belt. We need one of those, so I'll have to order that. We'll find a good second-hand one. Probably I'll just see what they're worth, see if we can get a new one, and find a power steering pump, which I guess will be Facebook Marketplace again. I'm already onto a guy there to get a timing cover and rocker covers. We're going to weld the fittings on there and the fittings on the other side, but that's not anything. So what I might do is check this little fella out again. There's a piece that goes on here and then a piece that joins that to that, like just from there to there. So instead of just bolting on the decided, put a little sleeve there and then another bit. I don't know what's going on there. You know, Toyota engineers there. They don't get paid enough obviously to care about anything. So I'll work that out. That goes on there, that goes out there to the radiator. Then we can work out the radiator once we've got everything on. Work out how big it's got to be, what side the things are got to be on. I noticed on almost all MA JZA things, they just have pipes, and then a pipe going over here, and then that's over there, and then this pipe goes around there. So I don't know, I'm trying to avoid that rubbish. We'll see what happens. Right, this is the part I was talking about. This little doobie thing goes in there, goes out like that, so that goes in like that. And then this contraption, which I think is the water outlet hose, I'm guessing that, just see how it goes over the other side. Put the radiator on, I'll pick it, that goes on down like that, down like that. It's real loose, so I'm sure it's going to leak. And then that, I guess, would feed water to the other side instead of going to the radiator just here, but it goes over there. So don't know, I guess that's what we're working with. And then the water pump outlet would be back here. So I'm guessing we go down there and that goes out there. Bottom radiator hose on this side, on the driver's side. Passenger top's gonna have to be passenger top. It's gonna have to be on that side. All starting to make sense. So this stuff I haven't bolted on. I bolted it on. I haven't done it up. I need a special bolt for that, or put a bush in there. That's not gonna work. Harmonic balancer went on, no problems. Water pump pulley, I guess. I don't know. This temporary, I'm guessing that's it. Just had me a bit confused. The Golby's things on the outside. That one's on the inside. Maybe if you needed two. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'm guessing that's for the power steering, maybe. Maybe that's for the power steering. Maybe, I don't know. We need a power steering pump. So, down there, over there. And then that's it. So what I might do, see, I've already cleaned this fella up. Gave him a little lick of paint. In case you haven't noticed, the theme's going to be black. All black. Black fittings, black hose fittings, black everything. So I have to clean this fella up. Can't put it like, must see if I got some O-rings that are that size, because that's going to leak. It's been leaking, even with that roofing silicone on there. Who would have thought roofing silicone doesn't seal automotive parts? Strange, that. Alright, so as we probably have already established, I'm no Toyota JDM fanboy. I really don't understand half this crap. So we probably should have said this at the start, but this car, which is a GA70 Supra, let's just call it an A70 Supra. It's not a GA because it had a GG engine in it. And then there's an MA70 that had that M7M in it. So that makes it an MA70. And then this same platform had a MA JZA in it, which makes it a JZA A70 Supra. So there's been plenty of things that just, you know, hard to understand or work out, or just you glance over it, get it wrong. I just said before, the power steering pump's on the passenger side. It's not. So on a MA JZA non-VVTi, it's on the driver's side. So that might make it a bit easier for us, but we still don't have a power steering pump. So this engine, the MA JZA, came in non-VVTi and VVTi later on. I'm guessing all JZA A70s would have had a non-VVTi engine. So that could work because that stuff going on over there with the power steering pump, it's all on the driver's side. So the idler I'm still missing. We'll have to get one of those. The aircon pump, like I said before, I'll put it on, but we're probably not going to use it for now, because this will, you know, everything will have to be redone, which is costs a lot of money. So yeah, I probably should have said at the start that this particular car had 3 different engines in its lifetime, which is pretty unheard of. And the other weird thing is the 1GG stayed as a 2 litre throughout its whole life, so it was always 2 litre. It never, you know, changed in displacement. Where a lot of engines like the M series or 7Ms, 5Ms, all those, whatever they are, I don't know. I don't really care to know either. Yeah, this started off as a GG, so a 1GG engine, twin turbo, and we've changed it to a 1JZ. So theoretically, if we can find a power steering pump that belongs on a non-VVTi engine, we should be able to just do all that, and then we'll be good. Anyway, made a mistake. Power steering pump I need is actually for the driver's side, so that'll make it easier. That's about it. After all that stuffing around, we worked that out. Let's get some measurements for a radiator. Well, I'm hoping it's just going to be a JZ radiator alloy off eBay. You know, one of those jobbies, straightforward. Let's do some measurements anyway. $450 at a stretch. Aircon lines are off. They're in the way, kind of, you know, look messy. They're going to have to be redone anyway because there's literally just crap everywhere inside those lines. That, I don't think it was hooked up when it flooded, so I'm pretty sure water went through it. Got into it somehow, so I don't know whether we're going to keep this in here. Might take it out for now. It's only going to help cool this thing down, right? That's my theory anyway. So I've got this all dummied up, as I said, to sort of work out what we do and don't have. I need to go get some more fasteners. But what we can do is sort this issue out where I don't have this quite lined up. So you can see that doesn't really line up with that, slightly out. So pull it off here and then take the nut off, turn this around a couple of splines and try and get it to be correct in case we have a vibration. And I know I always piss and moan about Toyotas. That's just what I do. Yeah, I work on them all day. Built a few of them, but I can't find the torque converter bolts. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking everywhere for torque converter bolts. I don't think they're with it. Maybe not. Anyway, I get on Google and I'm like, So I'm like, all right, I'll have a look for converter bolts to see what I might need. Anyway, turns out, caution, beware, Toyota had 2 torque converter bolts. One was 8mm, 1.25 pitch, and the other was 9mm, of course, 9mm. I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you? Just go 9mm, 1.25 pitch, 9mm. 9mm. A bunch of wankers. 9mm. So I gotta find some 9mm bolts. I think 8mm doesn't really thread in there. Anyway. Well, the plan is that we take this thing off. Obviously I've taken the back half of the tail shaft off. And then we put this thing back on here. And we work out that to line up with the other end of the unit. So that will line up with that. Makes sense? That thing. This thing right here. So we'll have another go at it. I think we'll just put it up there and have a look. I think that's close. I reckon then we can turn this, go back on there, just lost the shim. We can turn that like that. Stand back, have a look, and I fucked that up. Anyway, like that, like that. I reckon that's a ticket. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, that's it. Feels like my daughter's escaping. Well, I don't think that's right. I think I might have stuffed that up again. Well, we're going with that, which is a little bit closer than what I had it before, but still not close enough. Anyway, if we get a vibration on the tail shaft, we know what it is, right? These transmission cooler lines, we're not building a professional burnout car here, so I'm not happy with just having hose clamps here. If we're going to do a burnout and set the car on fire, I mean, these would be good. Exhaust is right here, you know, but I'm not happy with that, so I'm going to pull these out while we're under here and find out what we can do there with some braided line. Stopping at the 9mm by 1.25 pitch bolts for the torque converter, because why not stop on a note like that, you know? Anyway, I'm not going to have any. I don't have any. Let's face it, I don't think that's stupid. 9mm by 1.25 pitch. I'll have to get some off eBay or genuine Toyota or someone who has 9mm bolts for whatever that might be. Maybe they'll have some 9.5mm bolts, 9.75mm bolts. It's like those wheels, those Chinese wheels. No, they're not 9.5, they're 9.75 wide. Fucking idiots. Anyway, that's it. So remember, like, subscribe. We'll get some fuel fittings, and the next video will hopefully be a fuel system. Well, you know, the lines and everything, pumps, get it all set up. That should be good. Remember to subscribe, like. See you in the next one.